Hello and welcome everybody to Percival in the bottom right against Maru in the top left. This is one of the RSL qualifiers. Both players just hit each other here. Let's see what kind of game we're gonna get here. And if Percival can kind of hold the cup up to Maru. Was Maru the big favorite? A little bit of an early depot here for Percival. But it's technically on the same work account. He just makes it earlier. That means he loses a little bit of earlier mining time. And he's actually going to send out an SCV going for a gas immediately after. So he finishes up the depot, goes into a gas, and sends out an SCV. This could be a proxy barracks. But then he also seems to be making one at home here. Not sure. Could also be a proxy factory. He's gonna park there over at that vision turret, so he's not gonna go scout with this one. Double gas for Maru, so he will go into a factory play afterwards. That should be pretty decent against two barracks here. And with the proximity to each other, this can only be Reapers from Percival. So Maru should have some good tools against this with that double gas opening. He's immediately gonna start up a Reaper himself, yeah. We'll have to wait and see though how fast that factory is gonna be. He's gonna have the money very soon, yeah. And he will start up the factory now. There we go. Also, he's got a 2 Rex Reaper for now. Gonna finish up the barracks very soon. Probably start a second Reaper from here. There we go. So let's see if he can get something done. Maru already placing a supply depot to take a shot. It's like a tactical position which you kind of want to keep. It also provides you some vision to that low ground area once that thing is finished. And if the Reaper jump up here, they might end up hitting this depot on their first hit. And you can then just come move in with your own Reapers there to get the immediate re-hit, and then you'll basically snowball the fight, right? Because we see Maru is actually making a second Reaper. He's going into Reaper Hellion. It should be 3-2, as would be very common. So right now he's not really behind in Reapers. And that is an issue for Percival. Percival doesn't know this, but he needs to be very careful. Trying to aggressively trade here. But then Maru's micro seems to be looking a little bit better. Still, but Percival does not lose any Reapers. He does go out. And he kind of revealed his hand here, so Maru should know. Oh wait, we got proxy Reaper, right? Yep, pretty much. Because even if you have 2 Reapers, like he knows there's a second barracks for sure. It's 100%. Because if Percival was making this, hold on for a second here, we're gonna have the skirmish right now. And the first Reaper goes down for Maru, but then the rest of Percival's units just seem to be getting chased down. I think the Hellion is gonna get another shot on top of these Reapers before they can reach him, and he will kill one more. He's actually gonna commit to the chase. He really wants to hit some more of those guys. He gets one more shot in, but the region is already too far ahead, and the grenades are gonna nicely delay that push across the map here. And of course with the high ground, with a marine joining in here, he has some potential. But man, Maru very aggressively trying to trade in this pack of units here. Okay, so why did he know that there was a proxy on the map? Well, of course, or a second barracks at least. Of course, kind of have the timing on the second Reaper. Maru's second Reaper did just pop out, and about that time is when Percival arrived at the base with 2 Reapers, so one of the Reapers has to be very close, or maybe even both. And of course he then sees the barracks floating back, but this was a very failed opening here by Percival. I mean, it's 2 Reapers for 2 Reapers, really, right? Yeah. How did he lose the 150 more? It's kind of funny. Are his Reapers more expensive? So funny. I think he lost 2 Reapers though, right? So weird that it only shows 2. See? Oh, I guess it's because he killed one with his own grenade, maybe. I'm not sure. Units killed Maru kills. Yeah, so yeah, he has killed 3 Reapers, so he killed 1 Reaper by himself. That's how he lost that. And how that kind of weirdly shows up. We get a little bit of a drop here. Cyclone, of course, but there's a Cyclone plane defense. So only gonna get a Marine here. Pretty well defended by Percival. Defense matrix coming up here. The Raven needs no hole. This guy is such a nonsense unit in any matchup other than TVT. It's kind of insane, but yeah, just my opinion. Of course, defense matrix coming in here for both players. It's just so strong against these tanks. We do have a second starbody for Percival. Oh, for Maru as well. So both players are kind of eyeing to play an aggressive tank Viking style here. And they just want to have the first couple of Ravens basically sit there and make some magic happen for them. But so far Maru is the one pushing. Raven energy already been used here. 2 versus 1. So there will be the reinforcing Raven for Maru that will have an interference matrix, but he did just lose a chunk of his army, so. And especially some tanks that might be a little difficult. You want to focus down that Cyclone. The Cyclone actually is gonna kill the tank. That's kind of crazy. I felt like just a little bit of mistargeting. Maru's just walking in with his units here. Can he overpower? I think there should be enough reinforcements coming out here from Percival. Percival is actually, he has 2 additional barracks, and I think Maru doesn't have that. He only has the Stargate, so he's gonna play that Viking tank style, which I mentioned. He's gonna add a barracks now. But Percival, of course, he has the double barracks from the opening, so he can make more Marines. An interesting state of the game here. Yes, the double tank. Oh my god, that Cyclone wanted to get age. Can you please do something about this? It's insane. Don't get fooled as a medevac with this, so there's no Raven with half energy. Kind of insane. Especially with like a large energy bar. Percival is kind of walking into Maru's cycling. I can't believe how much value this 1 HP cycling is still generating here for Maru. That's insane. And push back the army from Percival. Percival kind of needs to siege. Very good position. Finally he picks off that cyclone now. And we do see a Liberator coming in here. Of course he does have the second starport by himself, so he shouldn't really fall to this push from Maru, but he does have no intel. This is actually what's going on right now. He hasn't seen the third, he hasn't seen the second starport, and Maru is actually going into mech. And Percival has no idea about this. He's just making stim himself, he's adding additional barracks, he has the third command center as well. And now armies are kind of circumventing each other here. This tank is getting found. I feel like the army, considering that Percival is going bio here, the army for Percival does have very little bio units, so there's not that much that scales. He has like stim for 4 Marines in that army. He doesn't even have that many Marines, he has 9 Marines in total. And he just finished up stim. It's kind of a bit of a waste if you ask me. I'm gonna try to overrun this now with SCVs, but do you really want to fight Vikings, mass Vikings with SCVs? I don't think the answer is correct here. 41 die in an instant. Can Percival do the same to Maru? He does get control over the ramp and over the production. That's very difficult. I think he just splashed some of his own guys there. Yeah, man. But I feel like Maru still has a stronger position. He's already inside the main base and he is evacuating a bunch of his SCVs. There's only dead SCVs on the side of Percival, and most of them, like that, are basically all the SCVs left. There's one on the outside and he's sitting over here. Percival feels like he's just moving a little bit too slowly. There's the production. He has a Liberator just sitting there. Maru has still mining going on. We do see a base train now here, but this is looking really good for Maru. He brings over one of the orbitals even. He brings some production. He's gonna snipe the Liberator because he makes some cyclones now. And Percival didn't anticipate that. GG is gonna be caught here. Pretty well done by Maru. So he takes the first game of this series. Yeah. Very well done by our blue Terran. I think he was blue in that in the first map. Right. Since we had so many hotfixes and patches, everything's kind of like behind a loading screen wall, or a couple loading screens more than it should usually be. I gotta sneeze here one moment. What a timing. What a timing. That was a good one. Okay. So that was the first map between these two. Let's up to the second one. Should be it. Okay. So this time Maru is the red turn. I'm not sure if that's swapped, but we will be in the bottom right of Eternity's Edge, and in the top left we do have Percival here. Let's see what both players are going to decide to do this game. And again, we do see a gas first opening here from Percival, so he seems to favor this in this matchup currently. TVT, get the double gas up, oh sorry, the gas first up and running, barracks a little bit later, as you can see, barracks already on the way from Maru, and then the gas, number one. And now we see the barracks get started here for Percival. It doesn't really have anything different. I think the biggest difference for economy would be that the orbital for Maru should be slightly faster. And I guess the gas, of course, we already see 50 gas here for Percival, and it just starts up. Maru's around 70 gas ahead. He should be basically down kind of that in minerals. That makes sense there. But then they bring in gas by force, so it would be even a little bit more. It's like 80 minutes or something that he should be down. And there is the orbital. Oh, you kind of want to make the orbital, bro? Oh, okay, of course, the barracks wasn't finished yet. But yeah, you can see he's about 70 minerals down. There's a second factory coming in. Sorry, the first factory coming in, and the first factory from Maru. It's interesting, he peaks up to 400, so he just throws down the command center, keeps the gas. As a marine here on patrol. It's kind of cool there, looking inside the freaking field here. Looks kind of funny. And there we see the factory. So a light factory comparatively. This factory is quite a bit faster here from Percival. He will also have the Reapers, so he might be able to do something this game. There is no counter Reapers for Maru, or backstab or counter attack that he could utilize to get fast across the map to punish an overextension from Percival. And Percival is gonna throw down his commands at that location, which of course is a little bit later than the one from Maru. Why am I getting Brothers music, by the way? I don't know. All we want is the Terran music and a couple from the Zerg tracks. That's all, and we are only getting Brothers music, if at all. Okay, so throws down a supply depot there in that vision blocker as well. Got the party in front of Nova. These guys are like dancing. Maru is blocking the ramp. He's actually getting wrecked at Hellions. Interesting to see. Not every day that you get those in TVT specifically. I feel like this might be the least common matchup where you see reacted Hellions actually happen. Yeah, there's gonna be a good defense here. He should just stay on top of his ramp. He's gonna split up the Hellions and Percival. So okay, there's no way in. Let's not further try. Maru swapped yet on the Stargates, but no stim yet. I don't think. Not sure. He might go into mech again. He did show that last game. Seems like it's gonna be enough here. So it's going into a Cyclone opening, of course. It's a very good all-round unit. Let's see another tech lab, and then eventually a Cyclone from Maru as well once these Hellions are done. Just gonna have 6 Hellions and a Cyclone or something along those lines. No interference matrix yet. As I say that, it does start up here. Okay, so he's gonna swap these guys here. Raven going across the map here. Percival's kind of just sitting in the middle with his units, but now there's 6 Hellions coming across the field. He cannot really fight this. He has to pull back. But here on the high ground, especially with the Cyclone, he could. The issue though is Maru is just, it's a tactical maneuver, right? I like to use these frames or phrases and terms because he did just push out with the Hellions into the center. And he did see, by the way, the army from Percival move. And he does that. Like, if he doesn't find the army there, I think he's just gonna push in a little bit further. He's gonna see, hey man, I'm here. And that's because he wants to draw some attention. He wants to kind of have Percival sit in the front. Potentially try to trap these Hellions. Because Hellions is not... Like 6 Hellions, you can't really fight without early backstab. But if you add anything in, like even a tiny amount of Marines or something, a tank and a Cyclone yourself, you kind of want to grab those Hellions. Because you can trash them like crazy. And Percival kind of did fair for that. He was posturing in the front, waiting for a go with that, the Hellions. But then Maru just threw in with the auto turret. Now he does have a Banshee here. This is no cloak though on the Banshee. 6 kills. The Banshee does go down, and the whole army for Percival is kind of getting decimated here. Everything's falling apart a little bit. We do see a Raven coming in for Percival now, dropping an auto turret on the main base. Well, here for Maru is going to cost him only 2 essays, I think. Have a look at the Raven now too. And there's everything coming in here, gathering, trying to go into the natural. Maru already. Sorry, Percival is setting up a bunker. Could Maru potentially break this? I don't think he has the correct army. But he's just gonna run it. If he gets a good shot on these Marines with the Hellions, maybe he can overpower. He's focusing the tanks with the tank. Oh my god, is he just gonna kill Percival again? He already has dealt so much damage. He's gonna kill the bunker as well. Man, if that bunker was up a little bit earlier, if you can kind of defend the tank a little bit faster, if he has some SCVs maybe already pulled to the front to get up a repair, anything, Turbinera, the snowball does not nearly happen as crazy as it does in this game. There's nothing on the ground here left for Maru. Only 3 Marines, 3 Hellions, very low units, a couple of siege tanks, that's it. All this siege in here. I'm ready to go to the front actually, because I'm kind of confident he can hold on now. Without having too many losses, he's trying to split his Marines a little bit. Just thinking about a walk and running with the medevac, but then the Vikings already said no. Man, that tank got shred to pieces. 2 Liberators, definitely focusing on that guy. And now he's over the command center. Now this is kind of the moment we have to pull the trigger, but there's so many auto turrets here from Maru. GG's gonna be called. Maru goes up 2-0. Wow. Maru. 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 Oh yeah, finally. Right. Next map is gonna be Ruby Rock. Just loading up. We'll go there momentarily. You need to stay put for a moment. Okay, coming in very soon. Let me set up the score. And there we go. There we go. In the bottom right we do have Percival. In the top left it is Maru playing for on-site gaming, of course. So, let's see what we're gonna get this game. Another gas first from Percival, potentially. Grab that now-ish. And he's actually gonna adjust his build, so he will kind of play the same thing, the same shoe that Maru is playing so far. Let's see if Maru actually does the same, I think. Okay. For a second I thought he's gonna go into a command center first or something crazy like that. Doesn't seem that that's the case. Just a regular barracks play. But we saw there in the last game a lot of things can happen in 7 minutes or 8 minutes. So the first like early stages of the mid game are just so crucial in this matchup here. There can be so many snowballing on the field that you don't really know what's going on anymore times. Yeah, like, and how did it get out of control this heavy and stuff like that? Those are like the moments. Those are the thoughts you might be thinking to yourself. It's just a thing. In the early stages of the mid game, the production for the Terrans is just so weak, so that if you can get a good engage and a very strong fight, you might just snowball the game out of control. And that's mostly because you really have no leeway without having that crucial production up and running. It's just such a punishing moment in TVT. Even though the defender's advantage is still pretty strong, it is just so difficult to get, like, if there's a position set up well for the attacker, it's just difficult to engage into as well as the defender, quote unquote, even though you have of course the standard defending advantage. Like, you can set up a better position first, you can before your opponent arrives even, you can then do things like you have buildings that will help you, that will soak shots and fire. You have your production right next door, so every unit is there quite fast, like immediately basically, and yeah, those are all great things, can help you win those situations. But it feels like if the defender's sieged up in position that's under pressure, under fire, and like a key point, for example command center or like a production facility, or he has control of the ramp, it's so difficult to make that work and get that breakout going. You need to sacrifice a lot of SCVs to get that done. Now Percival is actually making reactor marines with the fastest CC here. Kind of trying to reverse the roles right now, making Maru being like the early aggressor and the Percival being more the defensive mechanism or power here on this ground. He will still go into a second drop because he needs to kind of scout what's going on across the map. He wants to see what his opponent is doing and if he's ahead or behind in any kind of way. So as of now, production and tech do go in favor of Maru, which actually is not that big. The economy does go in favor of Percival, and that's something that can really snowball you. Oh, he gets the first Reaper, but he uses the lock-on, so now the medevac comes in. He gets a lock on the medevac, but nice boost away here. One tank is gonna chase the second out, and this is not really looking great here for Percival. He does get another kill there with the second. Let's be careful though. He gets another lock-on the medevac, a lot of damage there to that one. I'm not sure. I guess any other unit you can just kind of pick up. Oh, he's trying to get a lock-on the tank, but that's a little bit too obvious. Easy cancel there with the medevac. And again, Maru is already at the door, because we chased him all the way home. He has a tank, a Hellion, and 2 Marines here with the medevac. Now a Cyclone joins. Oh, that tank eating so much damage there, just rallying down the ramp. This is such a crucial position already here on this siege tank. Percival has a lot of SCVs, but seems like he's having difficulties in just handling these early mid-game pushes. Maru, if he can evacuate any of these units, is going to be insanely valuable here for him. Since he still is kind of behind it a little bit. There's the additional commands that are coming in here from Maru. And this is the one for Percival. Interesting location now that Maru saw that, yes. Indeed, scout this. And this is the moment we are starting to shell that production. Trying to do a breakup, but every time he does stuff like this, he's just sacrificing bleeding units, which is a little bit unnecessary. Now, can Maru's position be broken? He's dealing so much damage, he might kill the factory. Oh my god, Percival. No, he was so greedy, was it? Oh god, and this is... No, not how it ends. I guess it is. Percival GG's after the factory does get shut down. Didn't really try to repair it. He had so many SCVs left. He had a comparable supply, but against the 4th race, he just can't do it. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you had a good one. Make sure to sub. See you in the next one. Peace.